Hi there, I've just come in from a run and a few interesting things came out of it that I think might be worth sharing. Now I get questions a lot from runners who say, look, I've got a GPS or maybe a heart rate monitor. It's a fantastic bit of kit, but I don't really know how to use it. I use it to record my runs, but other than pace and time, I don't really use any of the other functions on it. This morning was a real example of how I use this bit of kit. In my case, a Polar M400 and the H7 heart rate strap that goes along with it, to both plan and monitor my training on a day-to-day basis. So I had a pretty poor night's sleep, and I had planned this morning to do quite an intense hill session. But as I say, poor night's sleep, maybe 4 or 5 hours at an absolute maximum, woke up feeling a bit ropey, legs were just not feeling right as I walked to the bathroom. So what I did was take my resting heart rate using this kit, and sure enough, I test it regularly, and sure enough my resting heart rate was a little bit elevated beyond what it might normally be. So I had a little reconsider. I still want to do something quality this morning, but I've cut down the session and doing a slightly lighter session, what I call a 10-10-10. Now this is a really effective session, a very useful session, but also a very simply structured and light session. It's something that can be really effective if perhaps you're racing in 3 or 4 days time and you're just looking to do a little sharpener run, or as I had this morning, you're feeling a little bit tired but you still want to get a little bit of quality into the bank, and this is how it's structured. So I went out and did 10 minutes at an easy effort, perhaps around 70% of my maximum heart rate, 10 minutes at a steady effort, 75-ish% of my maximum heart rate, and 10 minutes in a zone of 80 to 85% of my maximum heart rate. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do this run. A piece of kit like the M400 will allow you to do this as a pure progression run where you look to progress the pace as you move through the run. All you do is get your GPS going and attach to satellites, head out on your run, really ease comfortably into those first 10 minutes at a fully easy, fully conversational pace. That might even be 60 seconds a mile slower than your marathon pace. Whatever it may be, nice and easy, nice and comfortable. The next 10 minutes you're going to step up to a steady pace. That might be there or thereabouts marathon pace, perhaps a touch slower for some of you who are a bit quicker. And 10 minutes later down the line, push the pace on again to somewhere between your 10k pace and your half marathon pace, and that's a really effective but quite light session to just get the legs moving and the body ticking over with a little bit of quality at the end. Now look, outside it's very warm today. I'm travelling a little bit later on today, heading out to Girona where I'm going to do a hard session in a couple of days time, and I kind of knew after my sleep last night and how I was feeling this morning that if I did my hard hill session this morning I wouldn't be recovering in a couple of days time. Because of the travel, because of the heat, and also because I live in a very hilly area, just going out and doing a pure progression run based upon pace doesn't work for me. It won't tell me anything. What will tell me something is pairing up my H7 heart rate monitor and doing this as a progression in effort terms. So as I said, I've got my heart rate zones. I've done that from a recent lactate test I got completed, and I went out and pushed along for 10 minutes, 70 to 75% of my maximum heart rate, really aiming to kind of hold it back more in the 70% area. 10 minutes pushing up to 75% of my maximum heart rate, slightly drifting up on hills, but I'm really trying to cap it and keep that controlled. And then 10 minutes at 160 to 165 for me, which I know is my zone, there or thereabouts, lactate turn point or anaerobic threshold. For me, that's there or thereabouts, if on the flat, probably a 10-mile type pace. The run went quite well. As I said, the pace was actually all over the place, but my heart rate was progressed in the way that I wanted it to be. Felt quite controlled, felt quite light, and it was crucially achievable for me to do today and to recover from, despite what was quite a poor night's sleep and my body feeling quite fatigued. Had a nice sort of 5 to 10 minute very easy cool down afterwards, looking to take my heart rate right back down. And when I check out my Polar M400's recovery time estimation afterwards, it falls exactly in the right zone for me to then go and do a harder, better quality session on Monday. So this is an idea about how you can use kit like this, GPS, and heart rate monitoring and your general day-to-day activity monitoring to both program your training on a day-to-day basis, but also a kind of a longer-term basis. Do adapt and tweak your training on a day-to-day basis. If you're not feeling right, that's where technology can really come in and help you, instead of you just flogging your body and trying to stick on a plan regardless of what your body's telling you it's ready to do. So thanks to the Polar M400, I've gone out and got a really good quality session in the bank, and I'm looking forward to a nice comfortable run tomorrow and then stepping back into some harder stuff on Monday. Thanks for listening.